Hello and welcome to Not Fake News. Got an article from Deborah Hine from PG Media. Berkeley Riot organizers say lawbreaking was justified to shut down Milo's First Amendment rights. And look at a smug little look on her face, like, yeah, it's justified. A week ago today, student protesters and their more violent allies in the psychopathic Black Bloc Antifa movement managed to successfully shut down the First Amendment rights of Breitbart editor Milo Yiannopoulos. Armed with bricks, smoke bombs, fireworks, and pepper spray, the left-wing agitator injured about 4 Milo Trump supporters and did an estimated $100,000 worth of damage to the campus. While some of their allies in the media have lamely tried to suggest that the alt-right infiltrators dressed as masked ninjas caused the violence, organizers of the riot have publicly admitted that they support lawbreaking and violence as a means to an end. Via the San Francisco Chronicle, quote, "We are happy with the results," said UC Berkeley Law School alumnus Ronald Cruz of the group By Any Means Necessary, or BAMN. "We were able to meet Mr. Yiannopoulos' fascist message with a massive resistance. An estimated 150 Black Bloc anarchists attacked police with rocks and fireworks and used barricades to smash windows at the student union February 1st, forcing the cancellation of Yiannopoulos' appearance. We are not affiliated with them, but we're united in shutting down the Milo event," Cruz said. "Everyone played a part," he said. "Some engaged in breaking windows, others held signs and made sure that the fascists and the police did not attack anyone. This was self-defense," Cruz said. "Windows can be replaced. People cannot be." Another BAMN leader is also a Berkeley Unified School District, BUSD, middle school teacher. Yvette Furcala railed against Yiannopoulos through a megaphone during the riot and later during an interview with KTVU. She called the violence and destruction a stunning achievement. The KTVU reporter asked Furcala what she had against Yiannopoulos. "Well, first of all, Milo, Yiannopoulos is a fascist." Felarca deadpanned, "He's a white supremacist. He's funded by Steve Bannon and Breitbart. He's an acolyte of Donald Trump, and he was on the UC Berkeley campus to try to recruit more fascists and wage attacks on Muslim students, immigrant students, women, and trans students." This woman is delusional. Asked what could be so wrong about allowing Yiannopoulos to speak before 500 people who bought tickets, the middle school teacher answered, "This isn't a matter of violent versus peaceful protests," she added. "I was there, and there were thousands of people out there who were united. It was a mass protest. It was a militant protest, and everyone there was there to shut him down. And so, whatever it was going to take to do that, we were all there with a united cause, and we were stunningly successful." Despite the gloating, Felarca didn't answer the question. She pivoted off the question like usual because she couldn't without sounding even more insane. Rather than pointing out that Felarca failed to articulate a non-hallucinatory reason for denying Yiannopoulos his First Amendment rights, her interviewer gently pressed her. "Why not be peaceful about it?" she asked. "Why not chant and hold signs and things? But when you take the barricade and destroy the building, and when you set fires, isn't that counterproductive? In other words, might that hurt our cause?" Felarca answered, "I think the left has been too far timid. I think the left has been too far timid for too long. And it's why we've gotten into this position where we have someone like Donald Trump leading a fascist movement into the United States," she added somewhat repetitively. We need more mass protests, more militant protests that are masked and militant. The interviewer laminated that the police allies might have been turned off by all the property damage. There are a lot of concern about what is happening at these protests, she said. Falcara had an answer for that, too. Chancellor Dirks is responsible for anything that happened, she said, and if the business community is upset, they should join the professors and the students in the community members who are demanding that Dirks step down immediately, because he had a chance to cancel the event to make sure it didn't happen. There were hundreds of protesters that demanded that for the safety reasons that he did not listen. In other words, he had a chance to shut down Milo's free speech, and he didn't, so we had to do whatever we had to do to stop his free speech. That's what she's saying. How's that for circular logic? The chancellor should resign because he didn't listen to our warnings and how we destroy the campus if he didn't cave into our demands? That's fascist. But Falcara wasn't done. A few broken windows is nothing compared to the lives that are at stake, she said. And if that's what it takes to make sure that people don't get targeted, if that's what it takes to make sure that Milo Yiannopoulos or other white supremacists is not welcome or allowed to come to UC Berkeley and attack our community, then good. Let's make sure that doesn't happen again in the future. In other words, join us or prepare for more violence and destruction to your livelihoods. Look at this Chinese communist. She's probably straight from China. They probably shipped her straight in for this. Not really, but she's a teacher. She concluded by admitting that the protests are not spontaneous. This is about organizing and fighting by any means necessary, she said. Watch the video and ask yourself if a peaceful and law-abiding Tea Partier would have gotten a respectful a hearing from the journalist in San Francisco.
Now is Yvette Falarca with the group By Any Means Necessary. And Yvette, I know that you were there. First of all, tell me, what specifically is it about Milo Yiannopoulos that you and others have an issue with?
Well, first of all, Milo Yiannopoulos is a fascist. He's a white supremacist. He's funded by Steve Bannon and Breitbart. He's an acolyte of Donald Trump. And he was on the UC Berkeley campus to try to recruit more fascists and to wage attacks on Muslim students, immigrant students, women, and trans students.
Now, Milo himself denies those allegations. But again, that's why you were there, and that's why you felt like it was important for him not to speak. What is the real fear of him having a conversation with the 500 students or the 500 people who had bought tickets to the event?
Well, just to go back to how you characterize the protest, this isn't a question of violent versus peaceful protests. I was there, and there were thousands of people out there who were united. It was a mass protest. It was a militant protest. And everyone was there to shut him down. And so whatever it was going to take to do that, we were all there with a united cause, and we were stunningly successful.
But why not be peaceful about it? Why not, chant and hold your signs and things? But when you take the barricades and you destroy the building and when you set fires, isn't that counterproductive?
I think that the left has been far too timid for way too long. And it's why we've even gotten in this position where we even have someone like Donald Trump leading a fascist movement as the President of the United States. We need to make sure that we have more mass protests, more militant protests that are mass and militant. And the reality is that these aren't people just putting forward their idea.
Just want to say something. I did a video today. Donald Trump just did 3 new orders. One of them being where, he put this order together where it's going to be against the law and you're going to get in a lot of trouble if you go after the police the way these kids did. There's going to be big problems. He's also, with these mass protesters, this is all coming to an end. They're about to, come in hard and deep on these people. She thinks she's going to get away with that, but this is just his second week. He's not going to put up with this. He's not going to let this happen to us. This is going to stop.
There's white supremacists who've already murdered 6 Muslims just 5 days ago in Quebec. There was a woman in Korea, or not from Korea, but who was from Korea in Los Angeles, who was just beaten down by a white supremacist. We have a right to defend ourselves, and not only a right, we have an obligation to do that, not just for each other, but for our communities too.
Let's go back, though, to the speaker. And
okay, you are not the law. You do not have a right to go out and hurt people because someone was hurt in a story that you know of, or 2 stories that you know of. and 2 people got hurt. You do not have a right to gather a mob and fight that cause. That's what the police are for. That's what the courts are for. And that's why this woman is insane. But this woman right here, she's very pretty.
The fact that he was going to be speaking to 500 people.
And she seems normal.
Some say that because of what happened at the protest, this got national attention. He did national interviews. And so instead of his voice being heard by 500 people, now millions of people are online Googling Milo Yiannopoulos. So does that defeat a little bit of what you were trying to do?
Absolutely. She'll say no, but yes.
The right wing and the fascists in this country already have a spokesperson, and they've already found one in Trump, Steve Bannon, and also now Milo. But now what I think was so important about our success on Wednesday, which is why it should be the model for how the movement needs to take things now in the future.
Really?
Yeah, because, but let me finish, it's because we need to make sure that the millions of people out there who are angry and who are scared under Donald Trump and everything that he's doing now know that there are people out there who will stand up and fight the way the movement...
Listen, these girly girls and the girly boys, even the military, this little skinny jean wearing punks, they're not scary. If true Americans on the right side and the center, or even just the right side, come together and go after these people, we would destroy them. We're the ones with the guns. They're the ones not for guns. And, we have guns. We are men. We are working men and women. Patriots. We would annihilate them. She does not want to go there with us. It is definitely a losing battle for those little pansies.
Needs to. That clearly Wednesday was not business as usual. It was people fighting united in a mass effort, in a united effort, and by any means necessary.
But you know, though, that some in the business community, they were really upset because they, too, were targeted. They were blocks away from the university. And so when you talk about this happening again, some in the business community have voiced a lot of frustration with what they've seen before. And now to anticipate even more of that, you can understand that frustration, and that there is a lot of concern about what is happening at these protests. And that innocent people, those that may be with your cause, may actually be hurt as well.
But there's 2 things to that. One, Chancellor Dirks is responsible for anything that happened. And if the business community is upset, they should join the professors and students and community members who are demanding that Dirks step down immediately. Because he had a chance to cancel the event to make sure it didn't happen. There were hundreds of professors who demanded that for safety reasons. He didn't listen. 1. 2, a few broken windows is nothing compared to the lives that are at stake. And if that's what it takes in order to make sure that more people don't get targeted, if that's what it takes to make sure that Milo Yiannopoulos or another white supremacist is not welcome or allowed to come to UC Berkeley and attack our community, then good. Let's make sure then that doesn't happen in the future.
So no regrets at all about what took place?
What I think what we need to do is we've got to draw lessons from this in terms...
Have you ever heard a Democrat admit that they were wrong and say, yeah, I regret it? Ever? Even once?
...of how we can build even stronger, how we can make sure that we...
And the one thing the Democrats do, they learn how to speak very clear, they're very nice, and they sound so smart, but they aren't. They say their T's very well, but they're not as smart as they try to be. You see how I can sound smart if I want to, but I don't. I don't have to do that in order to be smart. I'm just smart. I have common sense. Problem is, this woman, when she was a baby, her mother walked through a doorway and didn't lift her head up high enough, and she got clocked once too many times.
Build the movement, and also that we continue to organize, because it's not spontaneous. This is about organizing and fighting by any means necessary.
Really?
Right.
Really?
Yvette,
No
thank you
kidding.
so
I
much.
bet, she's only saying that because we're just going to tie it back to George Soros anyway, and she wants to get that out in the open. You look at you. Oh, she's so content with herself right now.
Your perspective on that, Ted, I'll send it over to you.
Coming. All right, so where are we? Looks like Fighting Falarka is going to have a chance to wield her bullhorn again, perhaps in the near future. The Berkeley College Republicans who were sponsoring Yiannopoulos' appearance tells us they have met with the university officials about the Breitbart news editor returning to the campus. What? Okay. He said he wants to. He said that he wants to, and he's looking forward to looking into it. Said Pierre Sittler, a spokesman for the group. Nothing official yet, but the club would like to have him back. Really. Yiannopoulos himself said in a post on Facebook page Saturday, "I'm planning to return to Berkeley to give a speech I was prevented from delivering. Hopefully within a few months, I'll keep you posted. Just booked a very special guest for my return to U.S. Berkeley. The regressive left are going to lose their minds." Bam. Ronald Cruz said, "I would be surprised if he tries to after his humiliating defeat, but if he wants to be defeated again, he will be if he tries." Ronald. BAMNs, that group's Ronald Cruz said that. Yeah, well, whatever. Thanks for watching. Comment below. Subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed, you got to hit that subscribe button. And also, next to the subscribe button is a bell. And when you hit that, then you get notifications from the new videos that we get each day. I'm making 10 new videos each day for you guys, all breaking news stories. Give us a like. Really appreciate those likes. Thank you for that. And if you're on Vimeo, give us an upvote, whatever they call that on there on Vimeo, on VidMe. Once again, share this with everyone. We are the Resistance. Get the word out. I'll see you next time at Not Fake News.